Good afternoon. Welcome to Devash Lefi, Book of Revelation, the Apocalypse. Really, that's the name of the book, the Apocalypse. The unveiling, the uncovering of the Messiah, Yeshua, and the Hebrew word equivalent of the apocalypsis. Apocalypsis in the Greek is the chazayon. Chazayon or chazion, chazon or chazayon in Hebrew would be the equivalent, the vision, which in the Tanakh would be called the vision. Now remember, this book of the Bible, this last book and final book of the canon of scriptures, we don't believe there are other scriptures that were written afterwards. We believe this is the completion of the Brit Chadashah, the completion of the New Covenant, completion of the entire Hebrew and Greek scriptures, the canon of scriptures that are given to us as followers of God, followers of his son Yeshua, the Messiah, and 550 references in the Tanakh in this book of the last book of the Bible. So this is really like an Old Testament book, really like a book of the Tanakh, really like a Hebrew book, like a Jewish book, very much so. Yeshua is the center of the book. He is the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, the great high priest, ascended. He's ascended, and he's enthroned. He's on his throne. Remember, Kisei, throne, I mentioned in our last time that the throne is 40 times in this book. God is in control of all things. He is in the center of everything. Yeshua is in the center. God is in the center. God is on his throne in control of everything. It's a revelation. The first verse of this Bible, of this book rather, is this letter that is a revelation, an uncovering, an unveiling. Apocalypsis in the Greek. Apocalypsis. I'm looking at the Greek here. Of Yeshua HaMashiach. Jesus the Messiah. Jesus Christo. Yeshua HaMashiach. Jesus the Messiah. Vision. Again, Daniel would describe it as a vision. Ezekiel, Hezekiel, and Daniel, the prophet, the Hanavim, the prophets, would describe a vision. But it's an uncovering, an unveiling of Yeshua himself, which God gave, which gave to him God to show the slaves of him. I'm reading in the Greek order of the words, the doulos, the slaves of him. Those are subject to the will of God. And now God gave it to John. God gave it to an angel, a malach. In Hebrew, malach would be an angel, angelos in the Greek. He gave it to the angel, but to John, and then through the angel to John. God has an order. God has authority, and God has an order. And then to his servants, through them to his servants. If we miss God's order, if we do things out of order, if we do things independently because we're rebellious and we want to do things our way, we say, I'm not going to be under any order, then we miss God. We're going to miss God, what God wants to give and impart to us. And this is how God did it. He sent it through his angel, through the angelo, his angel, his messenger. And remember, he did this when the Messiah was born. He announced it through an angel. Many times God announced his visitation. The angels came to Sodom and Gomorrah through Abraham, with Abraham's time. And in Moses, the Torah was given, the law, the Decalogue, the 10 words, which is what it says in Hebrew, the 10 commandments. Really, the 10 words were given were brought through angelic messenger, through messengers of angels. And so here it says, gave to him God to show the doulos, the servants of him, were servants bound to him, which the things which it behooves to occur with speed. This is amazing. It must happen. There's a sense of urgency here. Urgent necessity, absolute certainty. Urgent necessity and absolute certainty. These things are going to happen. That's why this book is so important, because it deals with the things that are going to happen at the end times, and we are living in those times that are going to happen, and they have to happen. They must happen. The word day in Hebrew, they must happen. There's a sense of urgency here. And dealing with, this is, again, Yeshua, our high priest, Yeshua, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He's going to be the judge of all the earth. And he is, over the congregations, but over also the ages to come, the world to come. Again, to reiterate, the only thing new in this book, really, is that there's a lot of visions, a lot of signs we see all sorts of, signs and things that have meanings, symbols, I should say. But chapters 21 and 22 are absolutely new. The prophets did not see the new heavens and new earth the way that John or Yochanan, his Hebrew name, saw this, was given these things. So that 21 and 22 new. But here, he says that these, and again, this book, why are we going into it? Because we're going to need in 2024 to be fighters like never before. We're going to be those that fight, that are overcomers. Overcomers, Nikeo in the Greek, 13 times in this book of Apocalypse, in the Apocalypse of Yeshua himself. He's an overcomer. He's a winner. He's a fighter who wins. We are, and his followers, we are fighters and winners. It's more even of us, because we're with him, we're joined to him. So it means that we're victory. We win the victory. We fight and we win the victory. We conquer, we prevail. And again, in Hebrew today, as we're fighting a war in Israel, and Israelis, Yachad Nenetzeach. Together we win. Yachad Nenetzeach. Together we win is the cry throughout Israel, even today. Netzeach in the Hebrew, Natzach, to triumph, to end all resistance, and we will win over the serpent, over that ugly, snotty, stinking snake in Revelation chapter 12 and Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28, the serpent of old. We will win over him, but we've got to fight in order to win. And so we need this book like never before to conquer, to prevail over the enemy and the opposition. And so overcomers, to he who overcomes, don't quit. We've got to and so we're going to gain a lot of strength, a lot of fortitude through this book, last book of the scriptures, which again, I love the fact that it's really an Old Testament book. If you think about it, it's just like an Old Testament. And not that the New Testament books aren't equally valuable, they sure are, but it feels like an Old Testament book as we read it. It feels like it, I don't know if it was written in Hebrew initially and lost, but either way, it's got that feel to it, and God is totally on the throne. So again, to occur with speed, it says en taxe, it says, it means in a hurry, to show the servants of him the things it behooves. They must happen. They must occur with speed, in a hurry. In other words, when it happens, it's going to happen quickly. When these things happen, it means in swiftness, literally, in swift, translated with speed. There's like an acceleration, and that's what's happening in the day in which we're living. Things are accelerating, wickedness is getting more wicked than ever before. Wickedness will get more wicked, and righteousness will get more righteous. Will be more righteous than ever before, and wickedness will be more wicked. Things accelerate. It's going to happen with speed, with speed, it says, and he signaled, sending through his angel. And that's all we'll get to. We'll stop right there for today. So have a Yom Tov, book of the Apocalypse, the Chazion, the book of Revelation. What a great book. We need it. We desperately need it in our times. Shalom.